So welcome to the intern mastermind call. And today we are going to learn about personal branding. And let's get started with today's presentation. So this is the mind map that I wanted to share with you. I would want you to focus on what's there, in terms of me sharing the information with you, rather than going ahead and reading the mind map. But I will also share this mind map with you towards the end, so you can definitely, look into all the notes that you need to remember, and you don't need to go ahead and remember everything yourself, and you don't need to take notes yourself as well. And when it comes to personal branding, you know that personal branding as a topic is very close to my heart. And I go ahead and do a lot of personal branding activities, and I have been doing personal branding since 2013. And by the way, is my video and audio clear, guys? Just type clear in the chat box if it is clear. All right, so I think for everyone it is clear. If it is not clear, it is probably an internet connection issue at your end. Thank you. So you know that I started my personal branding activity in 2013, and in 2013 I just started digitaldeepak.com. I just made up the name, and kind of ideated the name, kind of wrote it down in a big drawing note. So drawing note is what I would like to use to write down ideas, because it kind of gives you a lot of space, and you can just write down the ideas inside in a drawing note. So I use drawing notes to write down ideas. And what happened was that I just started blogging. And the blog was primarily a way to just enhance my resume. That's how it started. I just wanted people to go ahead and look at my resume as a little bit more authoritative than other resumes when I was applying for jobs. I started writing some articles, I started sharing it on LinkedIn, started getting some traffic, and that's how the entire journey started. And once you start getting better at personal branding, and once you start learning the skill of personal branding, it will affect your personal life too. Because once you start building a personal brand, your self confidence goes up, right? Because people respect you, people follow you, people want to learn from you. And if you build your personal brand, one thing I can tell you for sure is that your dating life will improve if you are single. And that is something that I have seen myself. So you speak on stage, your self confidence improves, you start feeling better about yourself. And that is something that you need to keep in mind. And when you think about it, you are already a personal brand, right? There is something that other people think about you. So what is your name? See, your name was something that was given to you after you were born. And everybody has an image of you, even your friends, relatives, family members, everybody has an image of you, and that image is your personal brand, right? So personal brand is something that you already have. If you have a name, if you have an email ID, if you have a Facebook profile, if you have a phone number, then you already have a personal brand. So there is nothing wrong in trying to expand this personal brand into a more powerful thing. And once you start working on it, you need to start becoming a magnetic and irresistible person. And when you become a magnetic and irresistible person, people would look at you for inspiration, people would follow you. And once you start doing that, everything in life will start becoming easier, right? And you will also be a little bit more self-focused to grow. And there is this small example that they usually say. Like, for example, if you are in an airline, and if the oxygen level drops, then the oxygen mask come down, right? And they say that you should never try to help others first, you should always try to help yourself first. If you go ahead and help yourself first, then only then you will be not going unconscious. And only if you don't go unconscious, you can help other people. Even if there are kids, and even if there are old people around you, you need to put the mask for yourself first. So which means that unless you put yourself first, you will not be in a position to help other people. Just type agree in the chat box if you agree that you need to put yourself first. And if there are people in your family who kind of make you feel guilty for putting yourself first and call you selfish, then they are probably selfish themselves, right? People who call you selfish are probably selfish themselves, because they are trying to extract energy from you. So, the main thing that kind of puts everything together for a business is building a strong personal brand. And having a strong personal brand makes everything in your business 10x easier. And if you go ahead and do this, so just go ahead and type 10x in the chat box if you want to make everything in your life and business, 10x easier. And you can also put all panelists and attendees now, so that everybody can see, that you need to be 10x in your life, right? So you need to be like the person who goes out and gets things done. And what happens is that if you build a good personal brand, your thoughts will also start changing. And once your thoughts start changing, your words will change. Once your words change, your actions will change. Once your actions change, your results will also change. And you need to be the alpha, right? Whenever it comes to anything, when you need something, then it goes away from you. Like, for example, if you need money, then money will run away from you. But however, if you create value, then money will chase you. People will also chase you if you go ahead and build that personal brand, build that self confidence, become that magnetic personality. Then people will chase you. That is what being alpha is all about. Like, for example, when someone is needy, is it attractive? Like, for example, if somebody is always trying to get your attention, you don't want to contact that person, but this person is always following you up. I mean, women here probably will have very good experience with men being needy, men trying to hit on you. And even though men try very harder, it's very unattractive to be needy. So women in the room, do you agree with what I say? I mean, you might have kind of figured out. So you can put all panelists and attendees and share that information. That pestering guy who is always trying to message you, you are trying to ignore him, but this guy is always trying to come after you, and he thinks that he's trying hard, but for you it's very unattractive, right? So whenever you are needy, it's unattractive, and same for the opposite sex as well. I mean, lesser chances that men face that, but men also face that, right? When women are needy and clingy, it becomes unattractive. So it's not actually a very good you know thing that is appreciated at any part of your life, even friendships. Definitely not in family, like family, parents, mothers, sister, that is different. But when it comes to the whole society, friendships, business, nothing is going to be attractive if someone is needy. And the problem is that with Indian movies, right? Since most of the Indian guys are a little bit frustrated with their a lot of people are saying guys usually never felt that. Yeah, maybe. I mean, at least when you are in your 20 to 25, guys don't usually feel that, because nobody is paying you attention. But when you look at Indian movies, right? See, by the way, something that I say might not be completely agreeable to you, right? And it's okay. I mean, I'm just telling you my side of the opinion. It is okay to disagree, but if you disagree, it's completely fine. If you agree, then it is completely fine. But this is the dynamics, right? Because personal branding is about being attractive to people, and being attractive to people is the same as being attractive in the dating scene as well. I don't intend to make this into a dating class, but at the same time, this is what is true, right? And one of the reasons that a lot of movies have spoiled the younger generation is because movies actually go ahead and try to portray a guy who is always needy for the girl. And but in movies, the guy actually ends up getting the girl. So people do not understand relationships, people do not go ahead and understand intergender dynamics. And since the only exposure that people have is movies, they go ahead and do the same thing as the movies does. So the guy actually does a lot of things, like buying flowers and cakes and things like that. But end of the day, it is usually backfiring. And at the same time, now let me go ahead and connect this to you know so Bhavik is saying that's why horror movies are the best. I think we should all just watch horror movies. Anyway, right? So when you look at the sales scene, when you look at the marketing scene, it is a similar kind of thing that is going on with marketing and sales. It is a similar kind of thing that is going on with jobs as well, right? People end up being needy, right? People are needy for people are needy for jobs, and when the employer thinks that you go ahead and so Ramya is saying, haven't you gifted anything to your girlfriend? Ramya, I gifted a lot of things to my girlfriend. So by the way, I think we should not go too deep into dating things. Anyway, so let's talk about the main thing, in point, right? So when people try to get jobs, and when you are trying to give this whole needy aspect, when the employer feels like you need the employer more than the employer needs you, then the power shifts to the employer, right? The power shifts to the employer, and the employer is able to negotiate the terms, and you are not able to negotiate anything. And when you look at salespeople also, right? Salespeople are very needy. So salespeople act as if you should do them a favor. And imagine needy salespeople. They are such a huge turnoff, right? They just, like, especially bank people trying to upsell you on personal investment or credit card and things like that. They go ahead and try to act as if you should do them a favor, and it's usually like, dude, shut up, keep my phone, hang up the phone, I'm not going to talk to you. That is a reaction that you usually get. So that is why you need to be an alpha. And that is my definition of being alpha. That if you, even if you create a good product, people should need the product more than you need the customers, right? As a personal brand, people should want to follow you more than you want followers. Once you get that shift, that is when everything starts to happen. And that happens with a lot of hard work. You cannot go ahead and just make it happen being lazy, right? You need to do a lot of hard work. You need to do a lot of personal development. And building a good personal brand means that you need to be an inspiring person in your own life, which means that you need to be disciplined, you need to wake up on time, you need to eat healthy, you need to keep your body and mind fit, you need to have a lot of extracurricular activities, have an interesting life. Automatically your self confidence goes up, and automatically you become a charismatic character. Like, if you are not a charismatic character, then people are not going to follow you. So imagine guys or girls who are like always wasting their life, spending time with friends, going ahead and wasting time, drinking, sometimes smoking up, all those things people keep doing, and people are just wasting time. Do you want to even follow them? Do you want to even get any inspiration from them? Definitely not, right? And when you see such people, it's like a huge turn off. And what I am talking about today is like very, very deep stuff. And everybody needs to kind of absorb this. And end of the day, nobody ever, it see, instant gratification, if you want something like to enjoy in the short term, right now, like eat a pizza, feels good, but you will get fat and unhealthy. Not go for jogging or running or exercise. Okay, lazy, watch a movie. But it's all instant gratification. So the more you put off the instant gratification and more you work for the long term. And recently I put up a YouTube video, right? That the boring things are the ones that are actually going to give you the best results. So you need to do that. And unless you change yourself, you are not going to be a person who is going to get be inspirational to other people, right? So people buy people, they don't buy products, companies or logos. You are the business. And you need to become a charismatic character, and people will buy you. People will follow you, people will follow for you for the philosophy, people will follow for the person who you are. And if you have traffic, if you have followers, it is of no use. You need to have a strong relationship with your tribe, but strong relationship with your tribe happens with nurturing. Like, for example, this particular video that I'm doing right now, this particular webinar that I'm doing right now, is a way to give back to the community. It's a way to build a relationship with my tribe, which is the internship tribe right now. And you should not be selling commodities, right? You should be selling relationships. So acquire customers and build a relationship with your customers by having a conversation with your customers and having a genuine desire to add value to the customer's life. For example, I could be doing a sales webinar and trying to sell something, but if I keep doing that, then my brand will not go anywhere. I need to also nurture my community. and not just to try to make more money in the future, but out of a genuine desire to give back value to the community. So that is what is, defined as a strong personal brand. And you need to be also putting yourself in a vulnerable situation, because for example, how do you behave with friends, right? You behave with friends without hiding anything. And when you don't hide anything, that is when your actual persona comes out. And people are actually very bored looking at people who are fake. And when you look at people around you, people inside your family, people inside your friend circle will be genuine to you. But as soon as you look at people outside in the society, they will be like fake. And people end up being fake because they are too afraid to show their true character outside. And they always want to show themselves as who they are not. And people are actually bored of it. When you see someone who is trying to portray himself as something he is not, it's actually a turn off. It's actually a boring thing. And it comes back to honesty, right? Honesty not in terms of what you are telling as honest, but honesty in terms of character and showing what you are. So everybody has two faces. And it is a very difficult task to kind of bring the two faces into a single face, where it is the same person that you are at home, and it is the same person that you are outside. And when you are the genuine person, people automatically pick it up, because humans have a very, very high intelligence on looking at people and saying that, okay, this guy is fake, he is faking it. So a lot of people try to teach public speaking. A lot of people try to alleviate stage fear. And when you look at people who are trying to remove stage fear, they say that ye karo wo karo. But I will just give you one tip to be more confident in front of an audience and more confident in front of a stage when you are doing public speaking. And the one tip is that become a more authentic person, and become a person who always shows the true character, right? Because when you are showing the true character, like for example, this is the same way I will be talking to a friend. If I am talking to a friend of mine who is a friend for the past 10-15 years, and it is the same way that I am talking in front of a webinar right now, a little more than 660 people. And this is one of the reasons, because the reason for people to actually pay attention to me, because people enjoy to spend time with people who are genuine, right? Like for example, you might have discovered some friends who are like very fake. You don't like to spend time with them. You like to spend time with friends who are genuine. And certain people, like let's say Abdul Kalam, right? Why is Abdul Kalam so attractive? He doesn't look great. He is not like a Bollywood hero, but he is genuine. And there is a instant love from the people to a person like our late Abdul Kalam. And when you look at, let's say, Bollywood celebrities, I will not name any Bollywood celebrities, even though I want to, because I know there might be some fans here who might get angry. But the typical ones that I am talking about in Bollywood. And even though they live a very glamorous life, they have a nice car, they have a hot wife, and they have a lot of money, you actually celebrate or actually feel good when they fall, right? And that's what happened recently with this whole drug racket that happened in Bollywood. People secretly enjoyed bringing down Bollywood, because people were not really feeling connected to Bollywood. People were actually feeling very disconnected to Bollywood, because Bollywood is fake. And by nature it's fake, because in movies you have to fake anyway. So that is what you cannot be. And a lot of people are afraid to build a personal brand, because they are afraid that, what if people pull me down, and what if people say things negatively, because they see popular personalities like Bollywood people. And they are actually afraid to build a personal brand. But building a personal brand by adding value and being genuine is a whole different game than being a personal brand which is just fame focused, right? So you don't want fame focused personal brand. You want a personal brand which is value focused, where people love you because you are adding value to them, because you care, because you are genuine, right? So that's very important. And let's look at some examples, right? Let's look at some examples. Jeff Bezos, right? So Amazon's brand is strongly connected to Jeff Bezos, and investors invest in Jeff Bezos, not in Amazon. People invest in Jeff Bezos, not in Amazon. People invest not in Tesla, and not in SpaceX, right? They invest in Elon Musk, and Elon Musk's vision. People invested in Steve Jobs' vision, right? Not just in Apple. Investors invested. People bought products from Steve Jobs. So usually, when you look at companies which have become like $100 billion companies, there is usually a charismatic character behind. Yes, You can also build companies without a strong personal brand. But if you can build a company with a personal brand, and if it is easier, why don't you build a personal brand? A personal brand driven business is always going to be much easier to build. And right now, from Digital Deepak personal brand, I'm moving on to Learn Today, which is going to be my corporate brand. And I'm planning to make Learn Today into a very big education platform. But I will be the driving force behind it. And when you look at a lot of education platforms, there is not a strong personal brand behind it. Apart from when you look at maybe, let's say, Khan Academy. Khan Academy, the entire company is built behind one person, which is the person Khan, and that's how you go ahead and build companies, right? And especially in this day and age, when it is so difficult to build companies and so difficult to get the traction, so difficult to build loyalty, it is much easier to build a personal brand and then go ahead and try to get customers, right? And if you compare all this with the big companies that does not have a face behind it, imagine General Motors, right? Who is General Motors CEO? I don't know. Maybe Ford had a little bit of a personal brand behind him, but look at a lot of companies, right? Today Tesla is becoming the world's biggest company in terms of cars, because people just love Elon Musk and his vision to make the planet greener. uh, and Mercedes Benz, Audi, you don't even know who the founders are. So when you buy, there is no emotion in it, right? And you need to make sure that you do not have a plan B. Focus and build your brand, have accountability, and put everything on the line, else people won't believe you. Like, for example, I do not have much savings, and whatever savings I had, everything I'm putting it into my company, because I believe that this whole internship program model and whatever I'm doing with education is going to be the next big thing, where people get paid to learn, people are incentivized to learn, and it might change the face of education itself. And I believe in this vision, and this vision is everything for me. And I am able to go ahead and not have any plan B. And that's what I do. Like, like hardly much money, right? I don't want to talk about the numbers, but hardly much money has gone into, I keep the money in my business. And I feel like everything should be in my business. Even if I have 50 lakhs, 1 crore extra, I'm keeping it in my business to go ahead and build the business, hire more people, create more value. And that's how I operate. And you can attract your way into success through an authentic and magnetic personal brand. And you don't need to push for sales. People would come to you because you become the alpha, because you built such a great product that people want you. People will be standing in queue. Imagine how many people pre-ordered Tesla Model 3, right? And they are waiting for Tesla Model 3 to come. And that is how you need to build companies, right? And commit to one thing and never give up, and have no plan B. And that will make you a strong personal brand, and being vocal about it will make you a strong personal brand. So that's about it for the first section about this. Just go ahead and put all panelists and attendees, and type in no plan B if you believe that you should not have any plan B in terms of going ahead and being focused on what you need to do in life. Fantastic. So great, amazing to see the response. And so yeah, I think a lot of people are saying my energy levels are very high today. It's probably because taking a dip in freezing cold water. All right, probably because of my cold water swim. I think I should do it before every webinar. Right. In fact, I did a lot of work today and I haven't slept well. I'm a little bit tired, but the energy levels, first of all, because of that. And second of all, because I'm talking to you guys, my interns. So that's why. All right. So, what do you think about what we discussed in the fundamentals? Let me know in the chat box. So Ankur is saying, what if something goes wrong? What about one's personal life? I mean, have enough savings so that you have like 2 to 3 years of, living. But, when you say, what if something goes wrong, you might actually let go ahead and let something go wrong, right? When you take care of your company like a baby, like for example, if you have a kid, are you going to have a contingency plan for a kid? Are you going to have another kid? What if the kid falls sick? You will lose your sleep and make sure that the kid becomes healthy, right? You will do everything in your possibility to make your kid outlive you, right? So that is why you should not have a plan B. You should not have a plan B because you should treat your company like a kid, and that's what Elon Musk did. He treated SpaceX and Tesla as two of his kids, and that is why both the companies have grown to what it is today. All in or nothing. There is no other way. People who have a plan B always end up choosing the plan B because it kind of feels comfortable that if one thing fails, you can pick up the other. But life gives rewards to people who have no plan B, right? I mean, if you let's say for guys here, if you chase one girl, and if you think that if this girl doesn't work out, I will have another girl, you are never going to get that girl anyway, right? So if you have one vision, and if you don't have any other vision, then you need to make sure that you don't have a plan B. All right, so if you go ahead and chase two rabbits, you will catch none. All right. All right, so now let's get to the next section. Let's talk about some secrets, right? Let's talk about some secrets. And if you so nice quote said by Divya here. If you love your work, it always loves you back. Fantastic. All right. I hope you are cool. Me drawing up a lot of parallels between dating and love life, because I think that gets a lot of attention, right? Just type cool in the chat box if that's cool. All right, and no disrespect to anyone, no disrespect to women as well. I respect women very much. I have a daughter myself, so I think everything is cool. I think it's just more relatable, and you guys are young. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the secret, right? So every rupee in your business is going to come from a customer, right? A customer is the one who is going to pay money for your business, and selling a good product is a service to the world, and it is your responsibility to spread that product. You cannot go ahead and have a great product. Just one moment. Let me go ahead and switch the video for a moment, and let's just have a different perspective. Give me one moment. All right, so for a while we will use this. I'll look into the camera and talk. All right, so let's share the screen again. All right. So, selling a good product or service is your responsibility to the world. And, let's say you found a magic pill, and let's say this magic pill is going to increase the age of anyone uh, for 10 years, right? It increases the lifespan of people for 10 years. And if something like that happens, are you going to keep it for yourself? Are you going to say that, hey, I'm not going to do marketing for it and let people find it? If people find it, it's okay. But if people do not find it, that's also fine. Definitely not, right? You are definitely going to go ahead and try to spread it as much as possible. So if you have a good product, it is your responsibility to spread it as much as possible, which means that you need to have a good personal brand. You need to talk about it. And the more magnetic you are, the better you can communicate about the product and be a charismatic leader in your niche. And that's what I'm trying to do in the digital marketing niche. That's what I'm trying to go ahead and do with the internship program, where I'm trying to communicate as much as possible instead of waiting for people to come to me, because I feel like internship program is a great, life changing thing that people should have. And you need to talk about what you stand for and what are the stories you tell yourself. What is the mission? Like, for example, I talk about a mission which is to teach 1 million digital marketers. And when you go ahead and have a mission, people are going to go ahead and become staunch followers of you, because imagine there are two people, and one person is just doing it for the money and other person is doing to make the world a better place. Who are you going to follow? Like, for example, why would you buy a car from General Motors? General Motors just wants to make money. But Elon Musk wants to make the world a better place. He wants to make the world a greener place. So even if there is any default in the product, you are still going to be okay with it, and if you are still going to celebrate it, because you believe in the vision, right? And that's why you need to go ahead and make sure that you are a person who is going to have a mission, and I will share the mind map in a while. And The most important thing is that when it comes to external communication and you are going ahead and communicating out into the world, you need to have a very good internal communication as well, right? If you are telling yourself a different story, and if you are telling the world a different story, people will know. Like, for example, you will know whether I'm just doing it for the money or whether I am doing it to actually solve a larger purpose. Like, for example, the very concept of the internship program where I'm giving money back, where nobody wants to give a money back, is actually a testament to the fact that I care more about people learning from me rather than how much money I can make, because money will come in the long term, right? There is no need to rush it to do it in the short term. And you have to dream big and be inspirational, right? Whenever somebody dreams big, then people usually get inspired, and that is when you will get more followers and people will be attracted to you. And you need to be a person who is like a change agent, and you have to be a leader, right? And you have to be a leader and you have to put in the work, you have to be disciplined. And if you want to be a magnetic, charismatic leadership character in your niche, then there is no other way, because somebody else who is being a leader will beat you, right? Somebody who is having a larger purpose, more bigger philosophy is going to beat you. And whenever you are creating a product, you also need to make sure that you need to go ahead and just 1 second, you need to go ahead and make sure that you are proud of the products that you create. Like, for example, the internship program that I have created, I'm totally proud of it. Each and every video that I have done, I have put a lot of efforts into it, my heart and soul into it. And if you are not going to be your own customer, then nobody is going to be your customer. So you need to create products, training programs, services, whatever it is. You need to see whether you will buy it as a customer in the first place, right? And don't sell products, sell outcome and vision. And a strong personal brand doesn't happen by accident, right? It is going to be very intentional. Like, for example, you are going to take whatever you are learning in this particular webinar and go ahead and apply it. And you will have lovers and haters, right? You know that there are a bunch of people who don't like me in the industry because the way I'm conducting my programs. But it is okay to be polarizing. If you try to be pleasing to everyone, then you will not please anyone. There are certain people who are going to totally love you, and there are certain bunch of people who are going to totally hate you, right? And it's okay to polarize, because the people who are hating you, don't need them, it's okay. But people who are loving you are going to love you more, and they are going to be your best customers. And sometimes it is okay to be unrealistic and unreasonable as well. Just hit the ball out of the park, just blow out people's minds. And you have to use the products that you sell, you have to be authentic, and you have to be genuine, and people can smell it. And that is something that we just discussed. And there is this video by Simon Sinek, all right? And that is something that you might want to check it out on YouTube. And let's check it out on YouTube. One moment. So we are recording this. So the internet is not as great as it is usually in my home. But clear, guys, just type clear in the chat box uh, if my audio and video is clear. I know that once in a while there might be a little bit of a lag, but just bear with it. So if you search for Simon Sinek, and if you search for this thing called golden circle, he talks about how. So I will just quickly share my screen and I will just show you. So he talks about how Apple goes ahead and does things which are going to be like very inspiring, right? And I will just share this link with you later, after this webinar. And he talks about why Apple starts with the why. And when you go ahead and sell the why, that's when people react. Like, for example, he talks about how many computer companies have computers, and many computer companies have MP3 players, phones, and everything. But Apple gets the most traction because Apple's ethos is think different, and they stand for rebels. They stand for creative freedom, and they are very clear in their message. When you look at their ads and everything, they are very clear in their message, which attracts a certain kind of creator kind of crowd. Excuse me. And those are the kind of people that Apple wants. And Apple started out as a niche market, I think it is still a niche market. It is not a mass market. And let's go ahead and share the mind map again. But anyway, what do you think about what I shared with you until now, guys? I think this is one of the best mastermind calls that we have had. In fact, you can put it as all panelists and attendees, and then just share your thoughts in the chat box. Right, it is giving you a lot of ideas. It is kind of making you a little bit motivated, and probably inspiring you to take action yourself. Yes, fantastic, amazing. Love the energy in the room. Love the energy in the room. Rahul is asking, how can you earn passive income? Rahul, what can I tell you? I will get back to you on that. Hmm. All right, so we have a few more concepts to cover, and let's talk about a little bit more. Right, your magnetic character. I will just quickly go through it because a little bit repetitiveness is also there, right? And this is what we discussed. Personal brand driven business is going to be much easier to build, and you are in the business of building a community. And when you look at a lot of people who started out amazing businesses, they first started with the community. In fact, my business started with the community first, and without the community you don't have a business. And to have a community you need a personal brand first, right? And all sales you ever need will come from the community. Be an interesting person, which we already discussed. And you need to build customers for life. Business is not just about going ahead and trying to sell something and doing a transaction. A lot of people are in the commodity business, and when you are in the commodity business, then there'll always be another company who will come and sell it cheaper than you and try to gain more market share. And when you go ahead and try to build customers for life, people will choose to buy from you than from someone else. You need raving fans for your brand, and you cannot it cannot be built without you being in the center, right? So you are like the central thing, and the entire community builds around it. You are basically earning the permission to sell, and you are having less friction when you are trying to sell, because you have added so much value to your customers that your customers don't hesitate to buy from you. And a strong personal brand will give you a recession proof business, right? And you can build a business on the digital platform, which is a country in itself, and there is no restrictions on geography. And today we have people from all over India right now tuning into this call, and there is no um, one second. Yeah, I just put it as all panelists and attendees. Video is not stuck, guys. I just paused for a moment. All right. So I think it felt stuck. All right. So I think if I just do this and not talk for a moment, then you will think that the video is stuck. Um, all right. So getting back to the thing. So we are in the knowledge economy, right? And most businesses are relationship based businesses, because there is nothing much to manufacture and sell anymore, because everything is getting manufactured in China or in some factory in some other country, right? In terms of actually selling something, everything has come down to consultancy, knowledge business, SaaS, software, and everything. And this can be done only if you go ahead and try to build a relationship with people. Otherwise, you cannot do it. And do not chase fame, right? That doesn't give revenue. You need to chase value. You need to build a strong personal brand by adding value to be people to people. And you have to be charismatic, right? And you need to have a strong purpose. If you do not if you have a vision, you will be an interesting character, right? And in fact, one of the exercises that I am going to give you for your personal branding exercise is going to be to build your dream, to write down what is your goal. And we started out this entire internship program writing about what your dreams and goals are and what will be your version 2.0. But in the personal branding bonus video, I'm going to kind of drill it down a little bit more specific and ask you to talk about your purpose, right? And every character has a story and a narrative, and that is simple to remember. Do you remember my story? Go ahead and put it in the chat box, put it as all panelists and attendees, and let's see if you remember my story well. Like, what are the things that you remember about me? Motorcycles. Yes, I started out with a motorcycle blogger. I started out as a civil engineer. Um, I went to China. for a tour. I worked in a bunch of startups. I started digitaldeepak.com. I sold courses, and some of the personal things that you can think about a person. And I don't know if I should be sharing this or not, but I went through a divorce as well, and I have a kid. I have a daughter. So these are some of the things that basically you go ahead and remember about me, right? As a person, you remember about me. And Shubham is saying Aura ring. All right. So I will go ahead and put this. Yes, this is the Aura ring which I wear, which is my personal fitness tracker. My beard. I mean, not talking much about the visual stuff, talking more about the story, right? So you need to have a story. You need to build that story, and you need to build a story in such a way that it is relatable to people, right? Like for example, if I say that I'm an engineer and I never actually worked as an engineer, but I did an engineering, then I can relate to instantly half the population of the country, I guess, right? So you need to have a story where you are relatable to people, and you need to go ahead and have something common between people and you. Like for example, let me go ahead and so some person is asking, how do you avoid divorce? Don't get married. That is the best way to avoid a divorce. So anyway, getting back to the what were we talking about? Yeah. So you need to have a story which people can relate to, right? And for example, I will tell you an example. When you look at Spider-Man versus Terminator. Spider-Man was a far more successful movie than Terminator, even though Terminator probably was far more expensive to do, or maybe sophisticated, because the Terminator goes ahead and jumps from the sky, and he's a machine, and you cannot relate to the Terminator, right? The Terminator is someone else. He's a machine. You cannot see yourself as the Terminator. But however, Spider-Man is a loser in the beginning, right? He's not able to get the dream girl, and he's kind of losing the dream girl to some other guy, which is something that most people can relate to. And he's like a normal guy. He's like a loser. He's embarrassed. He's like weak. Doesn't have a muscular body. Everybody relates to him, and suddenly the spider bites him, and then the Spider-Man goes ahead and gets a lot of power. Now his dream girl is with him. He's able to jump across buildings, has a secret power. So everybody watching Spider-Man is actually able to relate to Spider-Man. Everybody puts themselves in Spider-Man's shoes and lives the experiences through Spider-Man, where they feel like, hey, how nice it would be if I was Spider-Man, right? And that is why going ahead and being relatable to people and being honest. I mean, don't fake it. Definitely be honest about your story and tell where you come from is very important to build a strong personal brand, because people can relate to you. Like for example, if I say that, hey, I was a civil engineer, I did not go to a very famous university or anything, just a no name normal university, just passed in max, would have almost failed, and got a degree certificate. And when I say that I'm an engineer, people will be like, oh, he was also like us. I did not go to IIT, I did not go to IIM. So I'm a more relatable character, right? And people kind of feel like, okay, if Deepak can do it, I can also do it. So that is what happens with Rajinikanth movies. Rajinikanth movies always show Rajinikanth to be, something like a normal person. And then suddenly he becomes rich, or suddenly he gets a superpower. And that is why, Rajinikanth movies are so famous, right? Normal Autowala, but he is the Basha. Normal guy, Arnachalam suddenly gets, so many crores of money. So people end up living the experiences through the character, and that is why the character becomes very strong. And you need to go ahead and do that on some level yourself, to go ahead and do that, right? So people need to look up to you, and people need information and guidance. People will buy the same content from you instead of other people. They will like you, right? um, if like a lot of people are selling digital marketing training, a lot of people are selling freelancing training, but if people like me, if you guys like me, then you are more likely to learn from me, because the learning is more smooth because you know me. And when you learn from a person, who knows, who you know, then the learning is more like smoother, right? And that is why long back in the schooling system, you had like one guru for several years for one person, and he used to teach multiple subjects. It's actually a far more efficient way to teach people if you go ahead and have that relationship with the student than having multiple teachers. Right, nowadays in schools, there are multiple teachers, each person teaches a different subject, and when you get to the next class, then there are different teachers. I believe that that is very wrong. You need to have a mentor student relationship, and once that relationship becomes strong, like for example, if you want to learn economics, all right, if you want to learn an economic concept, if you want to learn cryptocurrency, you are far more likely to absorb the information from me because you already have a relationship with me, even if I am not the world's topmost expert in cryptocurrency or economics or whatever the subject might be. Because if you try to go ahead and learn from someone who has even more information than me, you don't have a relationship with that person, you don't relate to that person, and when you don't relate to that person, the learning is not going to be that strong. Agree? So just type agree in the chat box if you go ahead and agree with it. So this is something that you can think about when you are building your own career as a digital mentor. And if you want to go ahead and train people, see, you can also go ahead and teach digital marketing to others. And if you have a tribe or community who looks up to you, like for example, you can teach digital marketing in your own language. Like for example, let's say you are from a particular language, and if you're particular from a particular locality, you can build your own small tribe of people, and those people might actually learn digital marketing better from you than from me, even if I know digital marketing a little bit more than you, because they probably know you better and they can relate to you better, right? So this is one of the things that you need to keep in mind in terms of building a strong personal brand. And today I think, rather than how to build a personal brand, you have gone ahead and learned uh, why it is important to build a personal brand and why you should take this seriously, right? And you have to be known for something specific, like a story. Like for example, I am known for deep marketing, right? Deep marketing is the key area that I work on. So when I say deep marketing, then it is Digital Deepak. So everyone is unique, everyone has a gift, and your purpose is based on how unique you are. And repetition is important, and people need to look up to you for direction, information, and guidance. And as I said, people will go ahead and buy the same content from you instead of other people. And this is how you create your character, just like a movie character. You need to go ahead and talk about what you stand for and what you stand against. You need to talk about your superpower. Like for example, my superpower is deep marketing, right? Personalized communications at scale. And all you need to do is master traffic and conversions, and your superpowers can be copied, and your followers should be able to go ahead and copy your superpower. Like for example, deep marketing is my superpower, and you can go ahead and do deep marketing just like I do. You are able to copy it, right? And that is also one of the strong elements of a character. Your stories, parables, the story backstory, your secret power, and immediately recognizable traits are important. You have to be polarizing, as I already told you. You have to go ahead and be a little bit, love or hate relationship you need to have with your crowd. And you need to find inspiration from true stories in your life, right? Whatever happened in your past, you can find inspiration from it, and tell the message you want to tell via a story. For example, blogging is awesome, and that's what I spoke in my TEDx talk. And your community needs to have an insider term, right? For example, here, for each and every batch we have a name, right? DD champs, DD troopers. So each and everything is a unique community. And put it as all panelists or attendees and let me know which community do you belong to, right? DD champs, DD squad, right? So each and every internship community has a name for it, and generally, everyone is a DD intern, and everybody says that, hey, I'm DD Army, I'm a proud DD intern, and you need to create your community, and you need to have a little bit of a name there, and that's very important. And now let's go ahead and talk about the last concept, which is building brand loyalty, right? How do you go ahead and build brand loyalty? And let me just go ahead and switch my camera again. All right. Sorry about that. All right. So just for a change, let's just switch the camera. And you need to go ahead and build brand loyalty, right? So I'll just change the. So this is a Logitech webcam. Yes. So let's go ahead and share this with you, right? So, how do you build a brand loyalty? So, we will complete it this in another 10 minutes. Don't want to drag it too long. So, how do you build a loyal brand? And you need to build a loyal brand because your customer list is not your asset. It is the relationship that you have with the list which is more important. The community will be stronger when people help each other and become friends, right? You need to have a fraternity. And here we have a fraternity for each and every internship group. People help each other, and that's why the community is so strong. And when you look at Zerodha, the top stockbroking company in India right now, and Zerodha's founders are billionaires now. It was actually born out of a community. Nitin Kamath, the founder, was actually running community for stockbrokers. And do not ignore the community. If you ignore it, they are completely gone, right? You do not ignore the community, and you constantly engage the community, and there has to be some consistency. Like for example, what I am planning to do is that I am planning to, I mean, I've already been doing the weekly mastermind call, and it is consistent. And I'm planning to kind of keep it consistent at every Thursday 9 p.m. and keep it consistent so that every time you come and engage with me. And affinity is created by similar background, struggles, backstory, authenticity, Spider-Man and Terminator, which we already talked about. You can also use the stories of your students or someone else. You don't need to always use your own story. A leader should care about the community, and you have to show it to your community. Do not be in it just for the money. And admiration versus envy. We already talked about being fame focused versus being value focused. And you have to go ahead and make people consume your content. And you can drop personal stories inside your content. Like for example, you can see that I dropped a little bit of a personal thing within all the conversations I have. Because when do you share personal things? You share personal things with friends, and friends share personal things with you. So when I go ahead and share a little bit of personal stories, then you know me better, and then I become your friend. I genuinely become your friend. Even though we don't chill out together and probably go out for a drink yet, probably we will do it in the future. I'm still your friend, right? So that's how you need to build your personal brand. And without having a community, your personal brand is nothing. Your personal brand is always going to be your community. And you don't make yourself too available also, and make your content available. Do deep marketing, where being the digital version of you, which I talked about. People buy your why, not your what. Apple think different, concept that I already talked about. Golden circle, Simon Sinek, everything that I just talked about. A strong why builds an emotional connection, right? And as I said, my goal is to change the game of education, and I want to incentivize people for positive behavior, for completing assignments, and for learning. Frequency plus value is important. Regularity, weekly mastermind calls, magazines, meetups, everything is regular, right? You need to have regularity. And this is the most important thing. Have an offline presence, right? Physical items. Retargeting outside the screen. So people talk about retargeting, people talk about engaging the community, people talk about going ahead and doing the engagement over and over again. But however, having fan items, right? Like for example, you got the welcome kit from me. It had a pen, it had a keychain. And how many times have you seen the pen and the keychain and the notebook around you on the table or somewhere? And don't you think I'm doing retargeting inside a three-dimensional space? I have actually entered your home, right? I mean, batch 9 people might have not got it. Some people are saying that I have not got it yet. So what I will do is that I will go ahead and share the form with you. In case you have not got it, fill it up again. We will ship it to you. All right. But I think most of the people have got it. Probably batch 1, 2, 3 might not have got it. It was actually launched since batch 4. And Yogesh is saying making note in the same book right now. And imagine the amount of brand affinity that you have when you see those items offline. And when you look at Harley Davidson, Disney, sports fans, you have these things like t-shirts, mugs, keychains, pens. So ninth batch might not have got it yet. Don't worry about it. Debrati is saying using that pen right now. Fantastic. All right. So merchandise, right? Merchandise is going to be very important. And you know Like for example, ClickFunnels gives you to come a club. YouTube gives the play button, and guess what, I am going to give you an award called Internship Excellence Award. And this Internship Excellence Award is going to be like A4 size award, which is framed and which is sent to you, and it is going to be sent for the people who have really done a good job with the internship program. And you can kind of proudly put it on your wall. And that is something that I am going to go ahead and do. And this is one of the things that you can do to kind of increase the brand affinity. Who will get it? I'm going to pick the people who have stood out in the internship program. So rewards or royalty points, repeat purchases or engagement, that is definitely going to be one of the easiest ways to keep people. And like for example, what if I go ahead and give you points for every time you attend this mastermind call? And if you consistently attend all the mastermind calls, then I'm going to give you a gift at the end of the 3 months or 6 months. Do you think it is going to kind of motivate you to attend my calls more frequently? Yes. So that is something I'm planning to do. That is one more idea that I got today. And then you need to have stickiness. For example, SaaS companies have stickiness, right? Once you have built something on a particular platform, it is very difficult to move it from that platform. You need to have multi-channel communication for brand loyalty: email, voice, SMS, WhatsApp, voice notes, postal messages, webinars, live events. All these are going to be there. Build anticipation. Create a funnel, right? Create a funnel, and the deeper people are into your funnel, the more attached they are going to be with you. Like for example, this is my funnel: free course and ebooks, paid newsletter, paid course, digital marketing club, internship program, personal mentorship, advanced mentorship, and eventually Alpha Club. So that is how I have gone ahead and built my funnel. And you need to build a funnel for yourself, and you need to go ahead and have a good communication. Be inspiring. Inspire people. Be a knowledge filter for a specific niche. Like for example, recently I have been doing a lot of short videos about the books I read. Like for example, this is one of the books that I recently finished reading. I'm going to make a video about it. This is another book that I have recently finished reading. I'm going to make a video about it. And there are tons of books around me. And When you are a knowledge filter, like for example, I can take tips and tricks from the book, and I can go ahead and tell it to you in this particular context, in the context of India, in the context of freelancing, in the context of affiliate marketing. And you can be a knowledge filter. You don't need to be always the creator of the content. Even if you go ahead and just be the person who is just the person who is going ahead and filtering the information, then that is also going to be enough, right, to build a strong personal brand. Give guidance and direction, reinforce their knowledge, give checklists. Be a map, not an aerial photo. Like for example, most of you guys knew about WordPress. Most of you guys might have got information from YouTube instead of joining the internship program. But the internship program is actually like a map, right? Step by step instructions. So when you give guidance and direction, then also you become a strong personal brand, because then people look up to you. Because when people have a confusion whether they want to choose path one or path two, they can go ahead and choose a particular path. And you need to motivate your community, right? Like for example, when people before people go into sports, before people play sports, the coach motivates people. The general motivates the people who are going to war. The general motivates the soldiers. You need to kind of be the person who instigates action. Motivation is like taking a shower. It doesn't last long. You need to keep motivating people over and over again. And that is also one of the ways that you can communicate with your tribe. And you can also feature people in your tribe, make them feel important. And that is also something I'm going to do. I'm going to do interviews with people who have got results with the internship program. Do a one-on-one with you, do a recording, and put it on the YouTube channel. And so that's about it for today's class on personal branding. And what do you think, guys? What do you think about today's class? And let me know in the chat box. Put it as all panelists and attendees. And what you can do is that you can go ahead and put it on Facebook. Probably leave a longer comment. Give me one moment. Let's go ahead. 1 second. So I will just go ahead and post it on the Learn Digital Marketing group about what you think about today's video. Give me one moment. So what do you think about today's mastermind call on personal branding? All right, guys. So I'll just stop the recording now. And if you are watching the recording, thanks for watching the recording.